Rolling action! What is an independent film? It is a film made by smaller independent companies outside the mainstream and usually don't have any connection to big entertainment studios or any networks. Independent film usually have a smaller budget. Where does independent film gets their fund? Since indie films don't have a certain or major sponsors, however, films production raises money from different sources. Indie production may secure their budget from private companies. With the help of internet, indie productions are able to seek funding from online donations. When it comes to the distribution of independent films, before it distribute, which may involve retailing or theatrical releasing, indie films are often presented nationally in regional or worldwide film festivals. Nowadays, independent films are more of an attitude than following a specific formula. They are mostly an anti-corporate and they make films indifferently in a way that tells a story that most of studios of films don't. Independent films are playful and usually have a multiple unique genres depending on the approach of filmmaker. How does independent films differ from mainstream films? Mainstream films are those widely distributed in cinemas. They are to make more money and create synergy and franchise. While indie films are outside a major studio and made by both style and artistic manner that depending on director choice to show them. If mainstream are to make more money, indie films are less money but tells more stories that is very relevant to today's society. In terms of casting, mainstream films used to have a famous actors and actresses that has already marked their names in showbiz industry. Unlike in indie films, they cast an unknown actors. It is very rare to see well-known talents in indie films since they only have a small amount of budget. The fact that mainstream companies are highly budgeted and expensive, they go to different locations needed for the production. While in indie productions, they have to utilize what they have. However, despite the lower budget, indie films are still able to effectively create a purposeful and meaningful films that narrate stories where everyone can relate to. Why should you watch local independent films? Things that makes a local independent films interesting is that those locally produced movies are created from our very own Filipino independent filmmakers, having their creative vision and innovation. Having a lower budget, local independent filmmakers are able to produce, shape, and control stories on their own. Whenever they create indie films, it always ends up to something relevant, meaningful, and authentic films. Since independent films are not widely distributed with the use of mainstream media, independent films used to have participation in international film festival. Our very own local independent films brings pride as they get an awards for competing and winning internationally. They are often designed to make us think towards certain issues or course of events. These locally produced films creates challenging storylines that depicts reality and less escapist compare in studio companies. Moreover, independent filmmakers are leaning more towards the life of every Filipino that will surely bring us and let us feel what they have felt and experienced. There are indie films that are made showcasing the historical event of our country and what happened in the past. Through this, we can appreciate what our heroes and ancestors have done for us and appreciate the present. In addition, independent films has the ability to redirect our mind and shape our beliefs towards a particular situation and phenomena. Let us watch and support local independent films. By watching and appreciating locally produced indie films, you are not just helping those indie filmmakers for achieving their goals, but you yourself is also becoming a part of the success of our country. Allow yourself to be part of this expanding and growing independent films industry.